Good morning, children. We are back again today to complete our chapter, the Indian Constitution. Today our second topic is features of our Constitution. So now we are going to discuss about it. So topic is features of our Constitution. Federalism. So the Constitution has these features: federalism, then parliamentary form of government, separation of powers, universal adult franchise, fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and directive principles of state policy. Our second topic comprises of these things only. Now first I am going to discuss about federalism. Now federalism, it means the existence of more than one level of government in the country. This diagram will notify you this properly. That means the country is run by two governments, national government or central government and state government. Understood? Next is parliamentary form of government. This diagram will depict everything here. This is our Indian Parliament, and this Parliament is a place where all the decisions, all the laws come to activation for our Indian territory. So it means that the people elect their representatives to the parliament, which consists of two houses. This parliament has two houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. In India, the president is the only constitutional head of the executive who acts only with the aid and advice of the real political executive. That is the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers. That means we elect the Prime Minister as our head of the government, and this Prime Minister, along with the help of the President and his Council of Ministers, run the nation from this Parliament. Okay. Then second point comes here, separation of powers. Power separation is very necessary. Like see, in our nation, the government is run by three important departments, and they are legislature, executive and judiciary. Okay, so each department has its own work. Legislature is the work of legislature is the elected representatives of people form the legislature. This organ of the government is responsible for making the laws. Executive department implements the laws made by the legislative department, and judiciary ensures that laws and rules of the country are followed properly and rights of the people are protected. Understood? Next comes our universal adult franchise. Now universal adult franchise, this is the power to vote. You have learned this earlier only. All citizens of India who are above 18 years of age have a right to vote, irrespective of their caste, creed, religion, gender, education and level, etc. Got it? Next is fundamental rights. Now our constitution gives us 6 fundamental rights. It guarantees us 6 fundamental rights. Now what are the fundamental rights? You have learned about this, but I want to make a recap. Fundamental rights are right to equality, right to freedom, right to, against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, and right to constitutional remedies. Now what is right to equality? All the person are equal before law. No discrimination can be made on the basis of religion, caste or gender. Okay, then we have right to freedom. This gives us a cluster of various rights. Many rights are included here, like freedom of speech and expression, freedom to assemble peacefully without arms, freedom to form association and unions, freedom to move freely, freedom to reside in any part of the country, freedom to practice any profession or occupation. Next comes right against exploitation. It prohibits all forms of forced labor and prevents child labor. It also prevents trafficking in human beings. Then comes right to freedom of religion. We are allowed to make a choice of any religion and practice it. Nobody is going to make any burden for us or any problem for us. Cultural and educational rights. All minorities have the right to conserve and develop their own cultures. Every caste and jati in India has the right to preserve its culture, to continue its traditional values. Then comes the last one, right to constitutional remedies. If we feel that some change should be there in the constitution, that can also be done. Under this right, citizens have the right to go to court if they feel that any of their fundamental rights has been violated by the state. Next is fundamental duties. As you are the citizen of India or you are an Indian, you have some duties also, beta. There are some fundamental duties too. So now I shall tell you about those. The fundamental duties are as follows: to abide by the constitution and respect the national flag, national anthem and all the ideals of the nation. To cherish and follow the noble ideals of which inspired our national struggle of freedom. To uphold and protect the sovereignty, unity and integrity of India. To defend the country and render national service when called upon to do so. And to promote harmony also. We should promote harmony and brotherhood. Understood? And we have to value the rich heritage of our composite culture. What is the meaning of composite culture? We are a mixed culture, beta. All of us contribute our cultures to make the Indian culture. To protect and improve the natural environment. Our environment should be protected by us only. To develop scientific temper, humanism and spirit of inquiry in reform. We should work in every sphere so the nation does development. To safeguard the public property. We should not just try to make any disrupt in the continuation of the public services. To strive towards excellence in all spheres of individual and collective activity. We should try to encourage ourselves and others also to bring out the best from us to make a great nation. Now, directive principles of state policy. Directive principles of state policy is a very important part of our Indian Constitution. It seeks to achieve the ideal of democratic welfare state as mentioned in the preamble with the help of these principles only. The Constitution tries to make all the promises proper through these principles. Understood? According to the directive principle, state shall direct its policy in such a manner so as to provide to all men and women for adequate means of livelihood, and economic system should not result in concentration of wealth in a few hands. So now children, we come to the end of our topic, the features of our constitution. I want to make a recap again so that you can analyze this, whatever I have told. If you understand these features properly, you will be able to understand our constitution properly. So let us make a recap. So, features of our constitution. Federalism. It means more than one level of government in the country is there. One at the center and the other at the state. Parliamentary form of government. It means that the people elect their representatives to the parliament, which consists of two houses, Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. These people, our representatives, only run the government and the nation. Separation of powers. According to the constitution, the government of India has three organs: legislative, executive, judiciary, and all these three departments have their own work. Legislature make the laws, executive sees to the execution of the laws properly, and judiciary maintains that everybody maintain the law and order in the country. Universal adult franchise. All Indians above 18 years have the right to vote. Fundamental rights. 6 fundamental rights are guaranteed to all the Indian citizens, which I have discussed only. Fundamental duties. Our constitution has listed fundamental duties for the smooth functioning of the society. I have mentioned the duties also. Directive principles of state policy. Constitution seeks to achieve the ideal of the democratic welfare state as mentioned in the preamble with the help of these principles. So children, here we come to the end of our chapter, the Indian Constitution. Hope you all have understood. Thank you.